Hey guys, what's happening? So we're back for more Philip K. Johnson's Hulk series, which has been heavy on the horror from the start. Man, it's not letting up. So for anyone who's just jumping in now and you need to get caught up, I've got the full playlist in the description that'll bring you right up to speed to where things are now. And with that said, if you're enjoying these videos, do be sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and don't forget to hit that bell up top to get all notifications. Alright, so coming back, this immediately picks up in the aftermath of Bruce signing the Pact of Eternus to effectively hand over the Hulk to the Eldest, so in return she would bring back Charlie. And as we know heading into this, the Eldest wants the Hulk so she can free the Mother of Horrors, but this might not be as much of a layup as the Eldest thought it would be. But before we get into that, first we start out with Charlie, because as soon as Banner agreed to the Pact, the Eldest honored her end of the bargain, and she brought Charlie back to the land of the living. And she even went as far as to remove the burn scar on Charlie's face as well. And at first, Charlie's a bit confused about what's happening here, with her burn scar being gone, and before when she was trapped in the doll, she was in New Orleans, which is no longer the case now. So when she sees everything here, she's not even sure if it's real or not. But it's not long before she's told that this is very real. She was dead before, but now she's alive. And right now, she's in Vegas. But she's not allowed to leave this house until the Eldest gets what she wants from the Hulk. So as you can imagine, Charlie, she just wants to see the Hulk, because she's not going to believe everything's okay until she does. And after this, when we head over to the Hulk, who's still currently chained up in the tunnels under Vegas, it's at this point where the Eldest is more or less celebrating her victory. But before she prepares to get started, she lets the Hulk know that the Pact's been honored, Charlie's alive and well, as a result of her making good on her end of the bargain. So now that Bruce has given her the Hulk, she's ready to make use of him and head to the next stage. But when the Eldest tries to claim the Hulk's flesh and do her whole skinwalker thing with him, she gets blasted. And I mean, the impact is crazy, like it literally knocks her through another person and into the wall. But even the Eldest doesn't understand why she's not able to use the Hulk after Banner agreed to the Pact. But really, just like we talked about before, we kind of figured something like this would happen. And even though we're not given the full explanation as far as why or what specifically the reason is, not yet at least, but there are countless ways that you could look at this and say, hey, this deal or this pact will never work unless the Hulk agreed to it himself. But in the meantime, we're still waiting to see what exactly that loophole is, because there's even the possibility of Banner knowing about this before he agreed to the pact. But in the here and now, the Eldest is not giving up. She still wants the Hulk, because that's her only way of freeing the Mother of Horrors. Meanwhile, when we head back over to Charlie, who at this point is trying everything she can to get out of that house. And it's kind of funny at one point, because she pulls a curtain only to find a brick wall behind it, which right there just makes me think of the Matrix. But no matter what she does, she's not able to get out. And the Eldest has made sure to either have Tilget or one of her other skinwalkers more or less move in a rotation to keep an eye on Charlie in the meantime. But that security is only as tight as the guards who are keeping watch. But heading back over to the Hulk, there's a moment here where he's left alone and we find him having a conversation with Banner, where at this time with the Hulk trying to break out of these chains, which are not budging, Banner just lets the Hulk know that the Eldest claims those chains are made from the first firmament itself. So he tells the Hulk, now it's your turn for the torture chamber. So the Hulk just tells Banner to shut up, and rightfully so, because throughout this series, sure, we've seen the Hulk put Banner through some torture, but if we're gonna be honest and really have that conversation, Banner started it. And even if we go back further than the whole Starship Hulk fiasco, ever since the Hulk manifested in that gamma explosion, this was the Hulk saving Banner. And there's much more that goes into it, as far as Banner having gamma modified genes long before the incident, which is why Brian Banner believed Bruce was smarter than most as a child. And you can also factor in the whole thing with Celestials altering human DNA, which made it possible for superhumans to exist at all, but from the manifestation of the Savage Hulk, who wasn't the only Hulk in Bruce at the time, he was just the first to come out. But for the longest time, he would only protect Banner and try to deliver him to a place of isolation and safety, only for Banner to attempt to get rid of the Hulk on numerous occasions. And at one point, Banner was even hoping to be free from the Hulk after death, only to eventually accept who they are. And this is something I go way more into depth with in the 6-hour Immortal Hulk video, in case you're curious to know how the Devil Hulk was created in Bruce during his childhood, as well as what Bruce learned at the crossroads about the Hulk's creation and how he would eventually come to accept it. it. And over the years, as we know, Bruce would go back and forth on this acceptance, which in my opinion is not a really fair thing for Bruce to do, because for one, his conflict spans across multiple Hulk personas, who he's deemed as an inconvenience to his life. But on the other end, this has always been the same Bruce. And instead of him truly trying to reach a stage of acceptance, he's only found new ways to torment the Hulk time after time. And in the here and now, I don't want to go too deep into how that looks between Bruce and every single Hulk persona, because this story really hasn't opened up like that yet. And I say that because I hope it does later. But in the bigger picture, I'd have to say that Bruce has done more harm to the Hulk than the other way around. So for him to celebrate the Hulk being tormented here, I find it a bit distasteful, especially coming from Bruce. But it's not too long before the Hulk realizes that he's not alone here, because next we see him approached by Katie, the girl from issue 17 who got caught up with all these monsters, where in her case she recognizes the Hulk as a hero, as an Avenger. And that's why she snuck down here to ask him for his help, because after Katie came here, they killed her best friend and they turned her into a monster. So she lets the Hulk know that she doesn't have much time left, and there's a chance that she'll live if she's able to get away. But if she runs now, she knows they'll find her. So she asks the Hulk if she's able to help break him out somehow. Will he kill them all for her? But she's not able to speak to the Hulk for long before she hears the Eldest coming back. So Katie quickly hides before the Eldest returns. And here's the thing, because when the Eldest gets there, she's come ready to take what she believes belongs to her. So it's here where she calls forth Banner, because she thinks Banner's protecting the Hulk somehow, in spite of their agreement. And I wanted to wait till now to say this, but I really hope that Bruce has intentionally pulled a fast one on the Eldest, rather than it being what it looks like, which is him making a blind and dumb decision. But the crazy thing that's happening here is, as the Eldest is trying to pull forth Bruce, the Hulk is holding Bruce back, and it even breaks the unbreakable chains. But it creates this intense buildup to where the Eldest is trying to pull out Bruce, while he's trying to negotiate and tell the Eldest if she lets Charlie go, he'll give her all the answers she wants, while the Hulk is just in the middle and mad at both of them. But eventually the Eldest is just like, enough is enough, because this isn't working. So she tells the others to bring Charlie to her, so she can use Charlie as leverage to get the information she needs. And mind you, this whole time Katie, she's watching this from the shadows. So next she makes her way over to Charlie to break her out before she's taken from here and tortured, just so the Eldest can get what she wants from the Hulk. And as soon as Katie makes a path for Charlie to get away through the cave system under Vegas, when she shows Charlie the exit, Charlie's like, wait, what about the Hulk? And at this point Katie's like, forget about the Hulk, they're about to kill him. Because as far as Katie's concerned, she doesn't know if she'll ever be free from any of this. But if she can at least save Charlie, then for Katie that'll be the one good deed she could do. But of course Charlie, she's not leaving without the Hulk. And she doesn't believe that anyone's about to kill the Hulk either. So for a moment the two of them start arguing, because Charlie's not leaving without the Hulk, and Katie's like, hey, you literally just got your life back, take that and go. But the commotion from the two of them going back and forth, it gains the attention of two other monsters in the cave, who already know Katie's not supposed to have Charlie out here. So Katie just tells Charlie, I'll hold him off for a minute, run, and never come back. Try to find a place without monsters. Only for Charlie to tell her there is no place without monsters. To where then Katie just says, I know, just before she changes, so she can hold off the other two coming for Charlie. So Katie takes them on and she tells Charlie to run. And this ends up putting Charlie in a situation that she's very familiar with, where she's powerless, afraid, and once again in danger. But this time it also plays out like an out of the frying pan and into the fire kind of thing, because as she's running away, she ends up running into one of these underground temples to hide from the two that are chasing her. In this room, or this temple, it looks very similar to what we saw in issue 17, when Katie first arrived with her friend Becky, and they were introduced to the House of Lycana, which in the larger picture, with everything that's going on with the Mother of Horrors and the Eldest, the House of Lycana just sits under them, as like your werewolf faction in relation to your skinwalkers, which would be someone like the Eldest, which in a way almost comes off like it's saying that all monsters connect back to skinwalkers, with the most powerful of them being the Eldest. But as we're told, for centuries inside of these underground temples where they hold their ceremonies and sacrifices, it's also here where bargains are made, where someone could obtain more power for a price. And as it turns out, this is where Charlie's trying to hide. And as she does, the two who are looking for her, they're getting closer and closer. And at this point, Charlie's just praying that she's not ripped apart by werewolves, even to the point where she says, please, God help me finally be strong. And as soon as she says that, the eyes on this wolf thing start glowing, which right there kind of teases the possibility of something answering Charlie's prayer really soon. So now real quick, I want to give a special shout out to all the patrons. Thank you guys for all of your support. And for anyone who's new here, who wants more information on how to support the channel, I got a link below where you can go to patreon.com/dopespill. But that'll do it for this one, guys. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and we'll do it again on the next one. Alright, later.